Eagles versus Eagles is the matchup tonight. Which Eagles will crash and which ones will take flight? Hi again, everybody, and welcome to High School Football on Channel 8. I'm Bill Rogan along with Brett Davis, and tonight it's the Thompson Valley Eagles. They come in at 0-6, taking on the Broomfield Eagles at 5-1. And Brett, if Broomfield thinks they're going to have a cakewalk, that could be a very dangerous thing to do.
Absolutely. You know, they have a lot of injuries right now on their football team. And Thompson Valley, like you said, 0-6. They would love nothing more than to get a win tonight. You got a lot of young guys on their team. It got to be probably playing with their hair on fire a little bit, so Broomfield has to be very careful.
Broomfield head coach Gary Davies is always concerned, and he's really worried about Thompson Valley because he said they have nothing to lose. They can play all out.
And, Bill, what happens when you turn the ball over?
You lose.
And that's exactly – Broomfield has to be totally focused on ball security. That's the one thing that could equalize this out a little bit. If they put the ball on the ground, or maybe if Kaiser throws an ill-advised pass here and there, they can keep Thompson Valley around, so they definitely have to be cautious of that.
It'll be important for Broomfield to get off to a good start and not give Thompson Valley too much confidence early.
Absolutely. They just need to do what they do, run their offense, run and play well defensively, and they'll be okay.
Well, I do know one thing. The Eagles will win. Which Eagles team, we don't know. But we'll be back with the starting lineups and the opening kickoff. It's Broomfield hosting Thompson Valley. We'll be right back.
We are Broomfield! We are Broomfield!
And good evening once again, everybody, and welcome to Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium on the campus of Broomfield High School. Tonight's game, the Thompson Valley Eagles against the Broomfield Eagles. And since Broomfield wears blue, Thompson Valley wears white. We'll refer to them as the White Eagles and the Blue Eagles. And right now, Broomfield taking the field turf here at Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium. Bill Rogan along with Brett Davis, Don Apodaca, the stat man extraordinaire. Thompson Valley comes in 0-6. They are 0-2 in the Northern Conference. And Brett, they would love nothing better than to pull the shocking upset and break that annoying 17-game losing streak.
Nobody likes a 17-game losing streak. I can't find anybody that likes a 17-game losing streak, but absolutely. And they know this is a rebuilding year. They're building for the future. And when you're doing that, you need cornerstones in place, and this would absolutely be a cornerstone win for Coach Michael DeWall in his first season, starting at 0-6. But again, they've got a very young team. We talked to him before the game. This is a team that will be a veteran ball club next year and definitely 2 years down the road. So definitely they're looking for that cornerstone victory, and they could definitely get it tonight if they could beat Broomfield.
And Coach Michael DeWall in his first year at Thompson Valley. By the way, Thompson Valley has taken the field. The marching band refused to yield.
Was this Cal Stanford in 82?
Do you recall what was revealed?
The band is on the field.
The day the music died. And they were singing. All right.
We were going with two different references there.
I know we were. I was going with the American Pie reference, and you were going with the...
I'm just telling the trombone players to watch out.
That was kind of comical. But Michael DeWitt, he did a great job rebuilding Platte Valley. He was there for 8 years. Now he's taken on the task of rebuilding Thompson Valley. He will get the job done, but there are growing pains. Broomfield, they have been decimated by injuries. 7 starters are out. So we'll see how the Eagles maneuver their way through this game. Deep for Thompson Valley. Waiting the kick is Kyle McNally. Also deep for Thompson Valley is Gabe Garcia. And Eric Kaiser, the quarterback for Broomfield, kicks it away, and not very good. It goes out of bounds. And so a gift for Thompson Valley as they won the toss, elected to receive, and they will get pretty good starting position. Let's look at the Thompson Valley offense. The starters, Spencer Shook, just a sophomore, is the quarterback. The wingbacks are Strobel and Rios. The tailback is Marquez. The wide receiver, Chris Ham. Darren Highland is the tight end. The tackles, Gunkel and Groover. The guards, Wynn and Keese. Chris Sweeney is the center, and they will make them kick it again. I'm a little surprised that they didn't take the ball at the 30-yard line, 30 yards away. So again, Kaiser will kick for Broomfield.
Yeah, I can't say I understand this, but that's what you do.
It's a line drive kick, and it's fielded by Thompson Valley, and it's Turner McFadden who gets the ball out near the 35-yard line before he is dropped. And we gave you the offense for Thompson Valley. Let's take a look at the Broomfield defense. And they go with basically a 5-2. Christian Nemai is one of the defensive ends, along with Andrew McClain. The tackles, Trevor Valle and Phil Latimer. Colin Eakes is the nose guard. The linebackers, Romaine and Kutchis. The corners, Ireland and Ritker. And Cannon and Gorman are the safeties.
You could describe it as a patchwork defense as well. Some
guys playing out of position. Shook the quarterback. And he gives to the tailback. And Josh Strobel, the 5'8", 145-pound sophomore, gets a couple of yards before he's taken down by linebacker John Kutchis.
In Broomfield defensively, they just need to come out and not allow Thompson Valley to establish any momentum offensively. Don't let them get out there and start gaining some confidence to where they can sort of turn this into a game. Assignment football, play where you're supposed to be, tackle, and they should be okay.
And they gave Strobel a yard, 2nd down and 9. Trips to the right. McFadden in motion. And getting thrown to the ground is the quarterback, Spencer Shook. On the tackle, Phil Latimer, the defensive lineman. If you get a look at number 41 for Broomfield, John Kutchis, he's got a big cast on that right hand that can't feel too good.
Looks like a miscommunication on that last play there on the exchange, allowing Broomfield to get in the backfield and drop him for a 2-yard loss.
So 3rd down, 11. Shook, fires deep, incomplete. Pass was intended for it was intended for Ryan Pinn. Ireland on the coverage. And that'll bring up a punting situation. Also on the coverage for Broomfield was Zach Gorman. So punting the ball away will be Turner McFadden. Ireland is deep for Broomfield. Also Ritker. High snap, not much pressure. Line drive kick to Ireland. He fumbles, picked up by Broomfield, and taking a tumble at the 40-yard line for the Eagles was Parker Oliver. So an alert play by Oliver as Ireland got hit immediately. Good coverage downfield by Francisco Marquez. A 35-yard punt, 7-yard return, and Broomfield will take the ball at their own 39-yard line.
And they kind of dodged a bullet right there. As we said before the game, the key to Broomfield is going to be ball security tonight. So they definitely dodged one there by getting that ball back.
And there's the offense. We'll set it as we move along. Quarterback is Eric Kaiser. Kaiser the keeper. And he gets positive yardage before he's wrapped up and taken down. Several Thompson Valley Eagles in on the stop. And leading the charge for Thompson Valley was Brett Ryan. Also in there was P.J. Shaw and Bo Colson. 2nd down and 5. Dan Gubel is the lone running back to the left of Kaiser. 2 wideouts to the right. Ireland has the ball go over his head out of bounds. Close to being a lateral, Brett.
Yeah, they call it an incomplete pass, but you got to be really, really careful. Those can be good plays. You get it out to your speed guy, Ireland, out in space. One thing Kaiser has to be aware of, and Ireland too, he has to be in a spot where it will be a forward pass for Kaiser, and if it's not, you absolutely have to catch it. They got fortunate there that it wasn't. They did call it a lateral, looks like.
So they will move it back 5 yards.
Yeah, the official on the far side was waving his hands over his head like it was incomplete. I didn't see any of them. You know, they usually throw their hand backwards, indicating the lateral, but
well,
like
Ireland went scampering after the ball, so maybe he knew.
Well, that's a good heads-up play. I mean, he should do that anyway.
Exactly. Gorman and Ritker split to the left. Gubel behind Kaiser in the shotgun, double tight ends. Low snap. Kaiser in trouble. Flings it downfield, complete to Ritker. And he's tackled by McFadden at the 41-yard line. First down, Broomfield. What a play by Kaiser.
What a play by Gubel, too. If we see as Kaiser picks the ball up, Gubel buys him time. The Thompson Valley guy coming in on the end over here, and Gubel picks up the block, giving him a couple more seconds to throw the ball downfield. Watch Gubel right here. Sees the guy coming in, turning into a blocker. Nice throw, too.
Put some steam on that one. First down, Broomfield. Here's Gubel. Picks his way through traffic. And Gubel near a first down before he's corralled. Taken down by Sam Baca, the sophomore. And they will give a first down to Broomfield. So 3 minutes in, no score, but the Eagles have the ball. The Blue Eagles, that is, on the White Eagles' 31-yard line.
It'll be interesting to watch Gubel tonight. A little bit of a tender hamstring.
You saw him on the bicycle on the track, the stationary bike, trying to keep that hammy loose. Fake. Gubel fires downfield, complete. Looks like it's Gorman as he's knocked out of bounds. First down again for Broomfield.
And Kaiser had everybody fooled there, the pass rush coming in. They all got by. I'm not sure if the linemen let them by or if they just got through, but watch as he puts the ball behind his back right there, and he kind of acts very casually. They all stopped what they were doing. They thought Gubel had the ball. Again, buys him some time. Very nice play by Kaiser.
So Zach Gorman, the 6'3 senior, with the first down reception. Gubel takes it up the middle, and he gets grabbed around the ankles by Cody Anderson, the defensive end. And when we get a chance, we'll take a look at the starting defense for Thompson Valley. The Thompson Valley squad in the white and black unis with the yellow trim. Anderson and Chippo are the ends. Brett Ryan is the nose guard. They go with 5 linebackers. They play 3-5. McFadden, Shaw, Martinez, Baca, and Herr, the backers. Martinez making his first start of the year. Corners are Brummett and Ashwood. Kyle McNally is the safety. Kaiser rolls out to his right. Fires toward the end zone. Incomplete, nearly intercepted. Nice job on defense by Kyle McNally, the senior. Nearly picked it off.
He did. Kaiser's got to get rid of that a little bit earlier. Just a split second earlier, he gets it to him. But very nice play on defensively, though.
Coach DeWall was concerned about his team's speed on defense. He'd like it to be a little bit quicker. That time, no complaints.
Nope.
As McNally showed some wheels in the secondary. Third down and 7. Thompson Valley would like to hold Broomfield to a field goal attempt. Kaiser being pressured. Middle screen, incomplete, intended for Gubel, broken up by Anderson. And Thompson Valley did not get suckered in that time. So it'll bring up a 4th down, and we'll see what Gary Davies decides to do. If they try a field goal, it will be about a 30-yarder. And they're going to go for it. So our first key play of the game, Brett.
Absolutely.
What do you look for here?
Huge play for Thompson Valley. I look for them to, well, I was going to say maybe a jet sweep coming around. Look for Gubel to see the ball here, though.
I'm going to look for Nemai, the tight end. Pass toward the end zone, incomplete. Intended for Zach Gorman and broken up. Not sure who broke that play up. Might have been Ashwood, the corner. So, a nice defensive stand by Thompson Valley after Broomfield marched the ball down to the 13-yard line of Thompson Valley. So
Absolutely.
The second possession for the White Eagles. Again, Spencer Shook, just a sophomore. He's 6'2", 170 pounds. And Coach DeWall said the offense has been a work in progress, but they've been getting better bit by bit each week.
And he says they're much further along than he expected them to be this year.
2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now a man in motion, that's Strobel. And straight up the middle goes Thompson Valley. Positive yardage. Quarterback shook on the carry. Picks up about 3, maybe 4. Call it second down and a long 6. Ball is placed at the 17-yard line. Good crowd on hand. A little more subdued right now than they were for the Legacy game. That was
I don't know, they were getting after it a little bit earlier.
That was a raucous atmosphere. Here's a little screen, and getting tackled is Chris Ham. Or it might have been Rios. It was Rios, the wingback. Obi Rios, the 5'10", 145-pound junior, with the reception. They pick up about 4, maybe 5. It'll bring up a very makeable third down, 3rd and a yard, a little more than a yard.
And we've talked about it on our other games this year, but this is what you want your offensive series to look like. Positive plays. Get positive plays on 1st and 2nd down. Put yourself in a manageable position on 3rd down right here. That was a nice pass by Shook out to the outside.
You know, at some point in this game, I will break into an Elvish impression. Here's the pitch. And trying to turn the corner and getting stopped is Strobel. They lose a couple of yards, and that'll bring up a 4th down for Thompson Valley as John Kutchis in on the tackle. Latimer's there as well. And that will send Ritker and Ireland back in punt formation. Waiting the kick from Turner McFadden, who's a senior. McFadden counting the players in front of him. High but short kick. Ritker at his own 49. Gets about 5 yards before he is dropped by Francisco Marquez. So good field position for Broomfield. 5:29 to go in the first. Still no score. Our officials tonight, the referee is Perry Lewis, the umpire Rich Morrison, the head linesman Damian Savolt, the line judge Mel Schaefer, and the back judge is Brian Schneider. And there's the Broomfield offense. As you can see, Christian Nemai, the fullback, he also plays tight end. Kaiser to give to Gabel. Good cut, picks up positive yardage. Brought down by P.J. Shaw. Also on the stop was Cody Anderson. We've called Cody Anderson's name a few times early, Brett.
We have. And just Gabel is just so tough on a defense. You see right here, he's so low to the ground. Very powerful. Shifty. He's tough to bring down. He's tough to tackle. He's tough to get in front of.
And there Anderson wrapped him up. Gabel again up the middle. 1st down. And he will be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Lee Chippo, the junior, with the tackle. So another 1st down for Broomfield. That is their 4th of the first quarter.
And right here, as you see Broomfield, 2 straight good runs by Gabel. What you have to be concerned about if you're Thompson Valley is they're starting to run downhill. You know, those offensive linemen are starting to beat their man off the block. So Thompson Valley, you know, get in the backfield, disrupt one of these plays.
Here's the pitch to Gabel. And Gabel takes a few hits and finally is taken down. Kyle McNally coming up from the safety spot laid a good lick on Gabel. Gabel, a very good baseball player also for Broomfield. And with his speed, Brett, what position do you think he plays in baseball?
Looks like an outfielder, maybe one that's got to patrol a lot of area. Center field.
Center field would be a very good and correct answer. 2 men split to the right. 2nd down and 9. Gabel's got some room. Gabel to the 10. Touchdown, Broomfield. Gabel, a 31-yard scamper. And the Blue Eagles tack on 6.
I didn't see anything wrong with the hamstring there, but, you know, again, I talked about it on the play before. They're getting to the point where they're running downhill. They're opening big holes for him, and then he gets down right by the goal line, one man to beat, and he just gets lower than him and outpowers him. He's able to break the tackle to get into the end zone.
Kaiser will attempt the extra point. You don't often see a quarterback as the place kicker, but injuries have hurt Broomfield, and Hayden Underberg, normally the punter and place kicker, he is injured and is not playing, and they're going to go for 2 now because of the offside penalty by Thompson Valley. So they'll mark the ball at the 1.5 yard line.
Eric George Blanda Kaiser.
George Blanda recently passed away.
He did.
NFL Hall of Famer who was a quarterback and kicker. Nice drop in there, Brett. That 31-yard run by Gubel gives him 61 yards on 6 carries here in the first. Power I formation. And in for the 2-point conversion for Broomfield, it's Jose Frere. So it's 8-0 Broomfield, and that miscue by Thompson Valley on the offside cost them an extra point.
Did cost them a point.
So instead of 7-0,
that was a good call by
8-0. And let's take a look at Frere, the 5'9" junior. Watch for number 23.
Yeah, they're in the pistol formation. This is the touchdown run right here. As you can see, Gabel, just a wide open hole getting to the outside. You see right here, just one man to beat down here. It's a defensive back. Nice stiff arm, getting your feet away from him. And he just waltzes into the end zone.
I thought we were going to see the 2-point conversion, but instead we saw the touchdown by Dan Gubel.
Here's the 2-pointer right here. You see Frere, just another huge hole. You've only got to go 1.5 yards. It doesn't take much.
So very good blocking up front. Kaiser's kick. McFadden fields at the 10. And he hands it back. And getting knocked out of bounds is Kyle McNally. So a little razzle-dazzle.
Never hurt anybody.
Never hurt anybody unless you fumble it.
That's true.
And Broomfield was not suckered in. So the Thompson Valley Eagles from Loveland, Colorado take over at their 19-yard line. And Spencer Shook, the sophomore quarterback, leads his team to the line of scrimmage. Marquez right next to Shook. Strobel in motion. Strobel off his hand, incomplete. On the coverage was Lee Cannon for Broomfield.
And that's a tough pass. That's a tough passing catch to make. An out pattern. So Strobel tried to stretch out for it.
2nd down and 10 for Thompson Valley. Again, Thompson Valley trying to pull the upset tonight, looking to break a 17-game losing streak dating back to last year. Marquez gets a couple of yards before he's tackled. On the stop for Broomfield was Alex Romaine. That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. And right now, Brett, they just haven't been able to get any consistency out of their offense.
They haven't, but at least they're not in an obvious down situation, you know, where Broomfield could really pin their ears back and get after him.
Shook, downfield it goes, incomplete. 2 receivers in the area. Chris Ham was there, also Obi Rios. And it'll bring up another punting situation for Thompson Valley. This will be their 3rd punt.
And you know back here, Ireland and Ricker want to make a play in special teams.
McNally is the snapper. Good snap. A lot of pressure. And he gets it away. Good kick to the 41-yard line where Ireland has it. Ireland trying to turn the corner. Ireland puts on the brakes, and gets wiped out at the Thompson Valley 48-yard line. Shook was in on the tackle along with McNally. Also in there for Thompson Valley was Kyle Brummett, the cornerback.
And John Kutches might have a cast on his hand, but you could tell he likes flying around and playing football. He ear-holed somebody on a block on that play coming around this side. Never saw it coming.
The 36-yard punt returned 10 yards by Ireland. 1st and 10 Broomfield. The Blue Eagles lead it 8-0 over the White Eagles. Frere dragging a tackler. That was P.J. Shaw going along for the ride. And it's about a 5-yard pickup, maybe 4. They'll spot it at the 44-yard line, so 2nd down and 6 for Broomfield.
Yeah, and as you see right here, you got Frere in the game, giving Gabel potentially a series off. It's good to have a stable of running backs. Football season goes on, you amass injuries, so it's good to have that kind of experience and carries for Frere.
And there he goes again, as Jose gets dragged down around the 40-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and short for Broomfield. Ramiro Martinez, the middle linebacker, making the tackle. 3rd and a long 2. Two-down territory, Brett?
Absolutely. 2 downs to get 3 yards.
Frere gets to the 36 and a 1st down. Martinez on the tackle. So Broomfield, yet another 1st down. That is their 5th of the ball game. Thompson Valley has yet to pick up a 1st down.
They haven't. You know, Thompson Valley defensively right now, you know, you want, especially when you're facing a good running team like this, they need somebody to get in the backfield, create some disruption back there. You know, make Frere or Gubel go a way that they don't want to go and allow their teammates to get there for the tackle.
Kaiser rolls, fires deep downfield, caught for a touchdown, but hold everything. On the reception was Ben LaMontagne, but a flag on the play. And illegal motion on Broomfield, according to referee Perry Lewis.
As we look here, watch probably moving forward at the snap. We can't see the receiver where the illegal motion was. That's usually what's happening in that situation.
Kaiser's been throwing the ball beautifully tonight.
That was a beautiful pass, absolutely.
And the touchdown to LaMontagne has been called back. So it'll be 2nd down or check that, 1st down and 15. Ball at the Thompson Valley 37. So a break for the Thompson Valley Eagles.
You can get away with that motion in Canada or in the Arena League, but not on the regular football.
Not in real football. Frere picks up a few before he gets taken down. And getting up slowly after making that tackle, Brian Herr. Call it 2nd down and a long 12 as we are under a minute to go in the 1st quarter at Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium. Perfect night for football. Temperatures in the mid-60s.
Yeah.
No breeze at all. The flag is hanging still to our right near the scoreboard.
We are in Colorado, though, so it might snow tomorrow. Who knows?
Could snow in the 2nd half.
Maybe.
Have you ever done a snow game? I know you've covered a lot of high school football in Oklahoma.
Never have.
Kaiser decides to tuck it down. And some hard hitting. Anderson rides him out of bounds. He'll be short of the 1st down with 18 seconds left.
And you see Kaiser right there staying within the system, checking down. He could probably have made that throw. You see him rolling out down here. He knows that they know they're playing an inferior team. This is a situation where you can sort of get out of the system, make the throw that maybe you wouldn't make against a better team, but he decides to tuck it, keep it himself, live to fight another day, all the things we say about these quarterbacks with managing the game. That's a sign of a very mature player.
In the 2nd quarter, I'll tell you about the snow game that I called. It was not fun.
Only one?
Well, a few of them, but this one was in particular. And here's the handoff to Ryan McCulley. He gets taken down around the 20-yard line, but there is a penalty marker on the field.
Probably a face mask the way it came in. It was the back judge that threw it in toward the end of the play.
Good eyes there, Brett Davis. It will be a face masking call on Thompson Valley with 12 seconds left to go in the quarter. And my neck is getting strained from looking to my left this entire first quarter.
Get to stretch it out a little bit the next quarter.
Yeah. They wind the clock, and that'll probably be it for the quarter. Broomfield approaches the line of scrimmage. I don't know if they'll get the play off.
I don't think they're aware of it.
And that's the end of the quarter. The score, Broomfield 8, Thompson Valley nothing. Second quarter action coming up next. And we are set for the start of the second quarter. Broomfield has the ball 1st and 10 at the Thompson Valley 16-yard line. The Broomfield Eagles lead it 8-0. Eric Kaiser, the quarterback, fires on a slant, complete to Gorman, touchdown, Broomfield.
And that's what a good running game will do for you. It allows your receivers to run around. You got a guy like Kaiser. He's been through the battles before. He stands back there tall, confident, sets his feet, throws a strike to Gorman. And in Thompson Valley, the safety's back there just not tackling well and breaks a tackle and gets in.
Kaiser will attempt the extra point. The holder is James Bradbury, and Bradbury throws to the end zone. 2-point conversion, as that one went to Christian Nemai. And it's now 16-0 Broomfield. Let's take another look. First, the touchdown.
Yeah, just watch Kaiser. He has all day back here. You know, they're bringing up extra defenders in the box to try to defend that running attack. But he's able to find his man, Gorman, coming across on that small post pattern there.
That was a good adjustment by Gorman. The ball was a little bit behind him. And that's really nitpicking on Eric Kaiser, who's been on target all night long.
He really has.
It was 8 inches to the left, and it should have been 8 inches to the right. So 16-0 Broomfield. And Thompson Valley, they need to get something going on offense, otherwise this could start getting ugly. It could be a Brett Davis girlfriend type game. Ugly.
Hey.
So Thompson Valley will send a couple of men deep. It's Kyle McNally, one of the players deep, along with Josh Sampson. McNally bobbles, has it. Straight up the middle. McNally with a good return out to the 29. Still on his feet. Still on his feet. Good heavens, Kyle McNally firing up his sideline with a determined effort. He should have been down 10 yards earlier. But the best field position of the night for Thompson Valley at the 37-yard line.
And that's something to rally around. When you don't have a lot, when you're 0-6 and you no first downs, as we've mentioned tonight, you know, Broomfield has a 16-0 lead. That's something that you could rally your team around. It's like a fight in hockey, you know. Some kind of spark to light under everybody. Or
in basketball, sometimes a coach will get a technical foul, try to fire up his team. But that was a very nice effort by Kyle McNally. Rios in motion. Flag flies, and the pass incomplete anyway, so it'll be the penalty against Thompson Valley. And it looked like Rios may have turned upfield a little too early.
Yep.
So illegal motion on Thompson Valley.
Again, we're not in Canada.
Now, when we saw the schedule, Brett, this summer when it came out, we saw that we were doing the Thompson Valley Broomfield game. We got very excited because Thompson Valley has a kid who's a senior named Dorian Brown, maybe the premier running back, not only in Colorado, but one of the best running backs in the country. And last year he had 3 touchdowns against Broomfield. He's a one-man wrecking crew. Unfortunately, Dorian Brown tore his ACL before the season started. A terrible blow for the Thompson Valley Eagles. 1st and 15. Marquez on the carry, gets about 3, maybe 4 yards before Kutchis gets in there on the tackle. Also sticking his nose into the play for Broomfield was Alex Romaine. But Dorian Brown, he gives you a bullet in the chamber.
He does, and it's not fun to look at this in the present tense, but they will be better, for that injury, as weird as that sounds. These guys will come out, they'll have to carry the load themselves, get some experience. As we said, they'll be a veteran team in a couple years because of all the fires they've had to go through this year as a young team.
Shook gives to Marquez, barrels his way forward. Latimer on the tackle will bring up a 3rd down and 9. But Dorian Brown, he's rehabbing his knee. He's still part of the team, and he will be playing college football at Colorado State. So a good pickup for the Rams. And he doesn't have to travel very far, Loveland to Fort Collins.
Nope.
I'm not a travel director, but travel agent, but I know it's not that far. Illegal motion again. Shook fires to the sideline, incomplete. Intended for Rios, covered by Ireland. A couple of short guys.
Yeah, you'll have the both running backs got moving forward early there. So yeah, when you have 2 guys moving, they call that illegal shift.
Talking about snow games, the worst game I ever did weather-wise, a blizzard over a foot of snow. It was Clarkstown North against Clarkstown South in Rockland County, New York, a suburb of New York City. Probably 1988 or so. And the thing I remember, there was a kid named Jimmy Can who ended up going to Rutgers. He scored 5 touchdowns. Nobody could run in this thing except him.
That helps.
He was the only guy who could run in the blizzard. Could not see the field, could not see the yard markers. It was awful, but fun. And the punt will come to Ireland. And Ireland gets tackled at the 36 as a flag flies. Last year, our final game of the year, we had Faith Christian and Holy Family at Holy Family. There was a big storm on a Tuesday, I think it was, and they spent an awful lot of time clearing the snow off the field at Holy Family. And all that snow didn't melt. It rimmed the field, and we would see kids, the field was in good shape, but we'd see kids going out of bounds into the snowbanks.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, too. Awfully cold, but that's high school football. We have holding on Broomfield, so they'll push the ball back. It'll start at the 26-yard line for the Broomfield Eagles. But again, we've been fortunate with the weather so far, Brett. Our next game will be at Holy Family. Maybe it'll be a different story weather-wise. Kaiser, the keeper. Kaiser has a 1st down and more out to the 42-yard line as he gets brought down on the play. Good tackle by Ryan Pinn, a sophomore.
Have you picked out your costume for that game?
It's not on Halloween, is it?
It might as well be.
Well, it's close to Halloween.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should go dressed to that game. I might go dressed as our director, Victor Seif. In other words, I'll have to stop off at the second-hand shop. Kaiser looks downfield. Got a man open. Incomplete off the hands of Frere. Just a tad too far, perhaps. But Kaiser has been really zipping that ball all over the field tonight.
He looks really good. And he's making the right decisions. Like I said earlier, there are times when he probably can throw it into double coverage and fit it into a tight place or maybe allow receivers to make a play, but that's not what you do in the offense. Talking to Gary Davis before the game, the key is ball security, protect the ball, protect your possession. But right there, he just dropped that one right in. You can't throw a better pass than that.
Kaiser 3 for 7, 52 yards and a touchdown. 3 carries for 31 yards. And Broomfield on the 2nd and 10. They give the ball to Gubel. Gubel gets tackled by Anderson after a gain of about 4, so brings up 3rd and 6. Last year, Eric Kaiser against Thompson Valley, decent night, 4 touchdown passes.
They got a vertical passing game that Al Davis would be very proud of.
That's if Al Davis knows what a vertical passing game is these days. Al a little out to lunch. Yes, that was a cheap shot on the Oakland Raiders owner. Ireland close to the first down, that extra effort. And I think he has it.
And that's that jet sweep play that you'll see them run, take advantage of their team speed. It's not a bread and butter play, but it's a perfect 7 yards to go, 8 yards to go situation when you don't want to put the ball in the air, utilize Ireland's speed, allow him to get to the corner over there and make a play in space.
8 first downs now for Broomfield. Ramiro Martinez made that last tackle.
You asked earlier what they would do on the, I think it was a 3rd and 7. It might have been 4th and 7, and I looked on the field to see if Ireland was out there, and he wasn't. But if he was, I would have said jet sweep.
Gorman split to the near side. Frere in motion. And it looks like Broomfield will take a timeout.
Looks like the play clock is getting low.
And a little bit of confusion as Gary Davies in his 23rd year walks out to discuss things. 8:30 to go in the second quarter. 16-0 Broomfield. And let's take a look at the Thompson Valley schedule. As you can see, they've taken some tough losses. Started out with Mountain View, and they've been shut out 2 of their last 3 games, including Loveland. They lost 56-0. So it hasn't been pretty for Thompson Valley. But again, these sophomores, they become seniors one day. And with Coach Michael DeWitt, Michael DeWall, I do think the future is bright. Broomfield, their only blemish, the loss to Legacy, and we did that game.
Legacy's a 5A team, too.
And look at the points they've put up the last few weeks. 46, 56, 41. Gubel up the middle. Gubel dragged down at the 33-yard line of Thompson Valley, but another first down for the Eagles.
And this Broomfield team, 5-1 on the season. I mean, they have aspirations of getting into the playoffs and making a run. And this, we talked about how beat up they are. And this is the type of game you can really judge the team's focus in this game. And they look zoned in right now. I mean, they're out there. They're not taking Thompson Valley for granted, but they're just running their offense, running their plays, looking very good doing so. As we talked about Gubel, 8 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown.
Kaiser gets good protection, completes to Ireland at the 15. Ireland down to the 10-yard line before McNally makes the tackle. Ryan Pinn also in on the stop.
Again, as you look at see the replay here, it's a designed rollout for Kaiser. Kaiser's an athletic guy, and they have to the defense has to respect his athleticism. I think we're having a little trouble with the replay, but yeah, just rolling out to his right, his throwing arm. Ireland running a good route downfield, and Kaiser putting it right on the money.
Broomfield spreads the field, and Kaiser keeps. Kaiser inside the 5-yard line. Anderson on the tackle. That's a good little play, Brett. You have receivers spread all over the field. You fake to the tailback. A lot of times you think the quarterback is the last option.
Well, this quarterback's pretty athletic, so he's definitely a guy that defensively they have to respect. But, I mean, they're showing Broomfield is playing a pick-your-poison offense right now. If you want to try to stop their run, they'll throw it over your head. If you want to try to cover their passing game, they'll give you a steady dose of Dan Gobel and Frere.
There's the Broomfield Eagle mascot. He's out of uniform. He's wearing an away jersey. Kaiser, little stutter step, waltzes into the end zone for 6. So Broomfield goes up 22-0 on the short touchdown scamper by Eric Kaiser. Will now try to add the extra point. Maybe. They have not attempted an extra point. They're 2 for 2 in 2-point conversions. Kick is up, and it is good. As Kaiser booms it over the little uprights.
I was going to say, maybe a tough call for those officials down there.
We were kidding with Gary Davies before the game, the head coach of Broomfield. We love coming to Broomfield. It's a beautiful little stadium, nice surface, but we're kind of making fun of the goalposts. They're not very tall, and maybe they'll get new goalposts here soon. That'd be a good class project.
Looks like it would be, yes.
Who's this guy?
He's getting a workout tonight.
Yeah, but he's supposed to be running so you can see eagles on the flag.
Well, I think he already ran the other way down the track. He'll be doing it plenty more, I'm sure. Like
the St. Joe's Hawk always flaps his wings, the guy with the flag should always be running.
The St. Joe's Hawk even flapped his wing when he got in a fight with the Tipple Owl and he was being escorted out of the arena. Continued to flap his wings.
Nothing more disturbing than watching mascots fight. 23-0 Broomfield, and they will kick it away. Kaiser booms it down, and it's taken by McNally. Avoids one tackle, and they get swarmed under. So Thompson Valley still looking for their initial first down of the game. And Brett, if you're the offensive coordinator of the Thompson Valley Eagles, what do you do to get some yardage and keep your defense off the field?
You know, you have to stay focused. This might be the time. I'm sure they pulled some out earlier in the season. Reach into the bag of tricks, maybe. But they're moving the ball. They're getting positive yardage. You don't see them making these mental mistakes. You know, and try to do that, get a first down, and get some confidence behind you.
Quarterback Spencer Shook gets the high snap, hands to Marquez, who backs off a couple of tacklers, but he gets dropped like a sack of potatoes after a 1-yard pickup. That'll bring up second down and 9. But ball at the 20-yard line.
I was going to say, you got to credit the Broomfield defense as well on that front. You know, what do you have to do if you're Thompson Valley? Well, you have to keep running your offense, but Broomfield isn't allowing them to do that. As we talked about, too, a patchwork defense, guys that are playing out of position tonight, playing their first game action in a new position, playing very well, staying with their assignments, staying where they're supposed to be, tackling, getting in the backfield, disrupting things. A lot of credit has to go to the Broomfield defense.
Strobel in motion. Shook complete to Highland. Highland close to a first down. He ran backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
That was an interesting play, and a good job by Shook looking off the defense. He looked left, threw right. Now they're going into a hurry-up. Third down and about 1.5 yards. Little slant, tipped and nearly intercepted by Alex Romaine. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
That'd have been a play where you think it looks like they were thinking about going for it there for a second, but maybe you run another running play. You talk about a long yard or 2 yards. Try to use 2 plays to get 2 yards.
Turner McFadden will punt the ball. Good snap. High kick, but very short. Ball will bounce at the Broomfield 49, and it's down right at midfield. So the Broomfield Eagles will take over at their own 50, and they have had great field position this entire half. And the deepest penetration for Thompson Valley, if I'm not mistaken, is the 37-yard line, their own 37. So with 5:27 to go in the second quarter, Broomfield looks to tack it on a couple more points. Ritker split to the left, Gorman to the right. And timeout taken by Broomfield. And that's their second timeout. They have one remaining. And don't forget, you can see this game on the replay Tuesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. Good excuse to skip work. Wednesday, a 2 o'clock matinee. Thursday prime time. And Saturday night at 6. And you can also get on broomfield.org. It's a good website to go to. A lot of things happening in the community. And our final game of the year will be Dievlin at Holy Family. And Dievelin, they can put points on the board. And Holy Family, they're not a team that's easy to beat on their home field at Mike G. Gabriel Stadium. And of course, you can get a DVD of these games, $10 each.
And don't miss Bill dressed as a pumpkin.
Kaiser, flags fly, pass incomplete, intended for Ritker on a crossing pattern. And we'll see what the call is. Again, the referee is Perry Lewis. So a chop block.
That's 15 yards.
And a chop block occurs when a man is engaged by a blocker and then another blocker comes and hits him low.
Used to be legal.
Until too many guys are getting hurt.
Yeah.
One good thing about blowout games, and it looks like we're heading in that direction, 23-0 Broomfield. A lot of the guys who don't get a chance to play too often will get some playing time ttonight on both teams.
I think when you're Coach Davies, that's good, but it's also good to get your starters and the guys that have gotten you to that 5-1 record out of harm's way. Live to fight next week.
As Kaiser keeps, lowers the shoulder and runs over McNally. And he picks up a good chunk of that penalty. That'll bring up a second down and 13 for Broomfield. Ball resting at their own 47. As we approach 5 minutes to go, second quarter. Taking a look at the scoring summary, Gubel, a 31-yard touchdown run for Broomfield in the first quarter. Kaiser, a 17-yard pass to Gorman. That made it 16-0 as both times Broomfield went for two and made it. And then Kaiser, a 5-yard run here in the second quarter, and that's where we stand, 23-0. Kaiser, quick outlet pass to Ireland. Ireland with some speed, gets the first down, nearly broke it. Martinez with the tackle, and he pushes and shoves with one of the Broomfield linemen. And it looks like that lineman, Tyler Stemke, giving a little shove to Martinez.
It's always good to get a fast guy out in space. They're fast, elusive, I guess. Elusive is a good way to describe Ireland. Very small guy, very shifty, but extremely tough to tackle, tough to corral. As
he nearly broke that one.
Seeing remnants of a couple weeks ago when we were here out in front of us here, Bill.
Crowd starting to act up a little bit. And Kaiser gives the ball to Frere. And he gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Call it second down and 10. Coming into the ball game for Broomfield is Dan Purse, a sophomore wide receiver. Ben LaMontagne goes far to the left. Frere in a slot left. Under pressure, Kaiser fires downfield, incomplete. And that pass was intended for Purse. And good pressure that time by the defensive front of Thompson Valley.
Yeah, the first time tonight they've been able to get back there to Kaiser, disrupt his throwing pattern. As we see Miranda get back there, get in his face a little bit. He's a very good player, but one thing when you do to very good players, you make them get out of their throwing rhythm, as we saw right there with Kaiser. And even the best quarterbacks will get a little off target when that happens.
3rd and 10, Broomfield. Kaiser has his man complete. Zach Gorman wrestled down at the 10-yard line. Brought down by McNally and Shaw. So a 3rd down conversion. And Broomfield now 11 first downs, none for Thompson Valley. And if they score here, I hate to say game is over in the first half, but it certainly wouldn't look good for Thompson Valley.
It's like a late substitution here.
Power I formation. And the handoff up the middle near the goal line. And not sure who made that carry. It looks like Ryan McCulley, the sophomore. McCulley's 6 feet tall, 160 pounds. So he got the carry and some good yardage. Picks up 8. 2nd down and 2. Check that, 2nd down and 1 at the 2-yard line. They can make a 1st down. Kutchis, the linebacker, is in at a fullback spot. Do some blocking. McCulley gets the handoff, pinballs his way across the goal line, touchdown. So Broomfield tacks on 6 more. And Kaiser will attempt the extra point. Stempke will snap. Bradbury will hold. Kick is on its way, and it is good. Kaiser's got a leg, too.
He does.
He's been doing it all, passing, running.
Like Blanda, like I said.
Yeah, well, let's him go on defense for a while.
That's right. I don't think Gary Davies would give that the check mark, the rubber stamp.
30-0 Broomfield with 2:12 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Kaiser tonight, 6 of 11, 118 yards and a touchdown through the air. 6 carries, 51 yards, and a touchdown on the ground.
And I only remember of those 11 passes he's thrown, one of them not being catchable. Is that right? The one right down here on this last possession when he was under duress. Other than that, I mean, he's been spot on tonight.
He also had a touchdown called back due to a penalty.
He's looked good, though. And this has to be very reassuring for Coach Davies and this Broomfield staff. Like I said, this team is showing incredible focus. They know they're playing against an inferior team tonight, but like I said, they're coming out, taking care of business. It's all about TCB, Bill, taking care of business.
Well, Kaiser kicking off. TCB, I like that.
TCB.
McNally is deep. Also, Daniel Bebo is deep. McNally has it at the 6. And he gets brought down at the 20-yard line. And McCulley, who scored the touchdown, finds himself on special teams making a tackle. So 1st and 10 for Thompson Valley. One guy Thompson Valley also missing is one of their captains, a senior by the name of Cole Fiskus, who starts as a linebacker and an offensive guard. He has a concussion, should be back next week.
They said he was a day away. If the game had been tomorrow, he'd have been cleared to play.
Hand off to Marquez, and he goes nowhere. Loses about 5. Nice job defensively for Broomfield. Leading the charge was James Roberts.
Going back to the concussion issue, too, I mean, it's very good to see that they take this stuff seriously, this coaching staff. Obviously, he's on some kind of schedule to get back, and they weren't, willing to push him out there. He wasn't willing to go do it himself.
You don't want to take chances with head injuries. That's a great unknown. When a sprained ankle is healed. Fumble! Ball is loose. And Broomfield has it. On the recovery, Alex Romaine. So the first turnover of the night. And Broomfield, golden opportunity to extend their lead with 1:29 to go. But when you talk about a concussion, it's always best to wait an extra week or 2. You don't want to take chances. We see the new studies about concussions, and it's very dangerous.
Here we see Shook trying to roll out, trying to find men downfield. Great strip right there.
Dan Purse with the defensive pressure.
Going for the ball. They teach that at the college level, and especially in the NFL, the good ones do that.
Kaiser keeps. Kaiser in trouble and gets flung to the turf. Anderson said, not that time. You mentioned earlier, Brett, he had that play where he's very casual, tucking the ball behind him. He didn't fool Thompson Valley that time.
No, he didn't.
But getting back to Fiskus, he's the cousin of our former friend, Ryan Cloberdans, who did the games with me for many years.
Not your friend anymore?
He's still my friend,
Okay.
but he lives in Wisconsin. And we talked to Cole before the game. Ryan said, make sure you say hi to my cousin. And I know a lot of people, Brett, really miss Ryan Cloberdans on the broadcast.
Is that right?
But we're happy to have the Oklahoma kid, Brett Davis, with us. Pass complete and out of bounds.
And there's Kaiser again. He's just throwing darts tonight.
LaMontagne on the catch. Close to a first down. 33 seconds left. Broomfield does have one timeout remaining.
Watch Kaiser here again on the design rollout. He can only put it one place. He's got to kind of put it out of bounds where only LaMontagne can go out and get it. Nice catch. Yeah, nice catch with the hands there.
They didn't let the ball get to his chest and bounce off. So 3rd down and 5. Ball at the 6-yard line. Gubel tripped up, dives forward, and he's close to the goal line. It's 4th down. And with 19 seconds left, we'll see what Gary Davies decides to do. The officials may take a timeout to measure.
Yeah, they can get a first down here. Okay, it's a timeout, Broomfield.
So that is Broomfield's final timeout of the quarter, of the half. 17.2 seconds left. The Broomfield band has been somewhat quiet tonight. One of the better high school bands you'll see.
The student section, though, getting after it as always.
The game is a little out of control, so they're trying to find ways to amuse themselves. So it's 30-0 Broomfield, trying to add another touchdown before the half. In high school football, if it becomes a 40-point spread, you'll have a running clock. Power I formation. Quarterback sneak Kaiser. Touchdown Broomfield.
I was going to say,
as Kaiser rolls into the end zone.
He did, yeah. I was thinking that maybe he was short. He would have the first down, which I guess the clock would stop in that situation. But they would have been out of timeouts. Had to run maybe a clock play, a spike play there. But Kaiser's able to push forward into the end zone, so no need.
Did you like that? Kaiser rolls
I did,
into
yes.
the end zone? Okay. Didn't know if that went over your head, Brett.
No, it didn't.
Kaiser will tack on the extra point.
Oh.
It's bobbled. Pitch to Kaiser. Oh, good heavens.
Wow.
He's going to score the 2 points. Again, a muffed snap. And James Bradbury, what a heads-up play.
Just like Gary Davies drew it up.
He was going to get steamrolled whether he held on to the ball or not. So we said, you take it, Kaiser. And let's look at the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, they're very close to a first down as it is, but look at that. I mean, they pushed that pile 2 yards to get into the end zone. Kaiser's a big, strong kid, too. You know, we talked about how well he's throwing the ball. We brought it up several times as well, but a very good athlete, very good runner.
Good block by Colin Eakes. So it's 38-0 Broomfield. 14 seconds to go. And there you see the story. Thip Val 0, Broomfield 38. Guess we couldn't fit Thompson Valley on the graphic.
Guess not.
That last replay, I love that shot. Down low, you see the line of scrimmage. And that was a good job by our cameraman as usual. Good crew we have here at Channel 8.
Somebody might have to hold the ball here.
It's not very windy. There's actually no wind at all according to the flag.
Maybe they got a bad tee.
So Kaiser will kick again. His right leg is probably getting tired as he squibs it along the ground. McNally at his own 15. Weaves his way through traffic, takes a big hit, and is down at the 23-yard line.
Thompson Valley will have it here, first and 10.
And here's a play right here. Down 38-0. Put some air under the ball. Run a play. Run a hook and ladder. don't necessarily go, as we brought up earlier, Cal Stanford. I wouldn't do more than one lateral on this, but put the ball in the air. Throw it downfield.
Give it a heave. Shook downfield. Incomplete. Intended for McNally. Check that. It was intended for Rios. So 3 seconds left. This will probably be the final play of the first half. And I look across the way, the Thompson Valley fans not had much to cheer about here in the first half. There's a good shot of Spencer Shook. S-H-O-O-K. That's the way he spells his last name. Pass is complete to Highland. He gets brought down, and that'll do it for the first half. And a first half that Thompson Valley did not get a first down. Broomfield dominating, and basically it was the Eric Kaiser show in the first half.
It was. He looked really good, made good decisions, made very few mistakes that I can even recall. Throwing the ball extremely well, showing off his athleticism, and managing a great game. Got to give a lot of credit to him for staying within the offense, staying focused, and just running through it.
Broomfield led 8-0 after the first quarter. They scored 30 points in the second, and that's where we stand. Broomfield 38, Thompson Valley nothing. And when we come back, we'll have the halftime stats and the start of the third quarter of play. You're watching high school football on KCCB Channel 8. Bill Rogan along with Brett Davis at Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium as we get set for the start of the second half. And I think, Brett, it's fair to say a very difficult half for Thompson Valley Eagles.
It always is. Or when you don't get first downs, it always is. I'm not saying it always is. But, yeah, no first downs, as you see right here. Broomfield completely controlling the line of scrimmage. 302 total yards to 26 for Thompson Valley. You know, a lot of some good discipline in this game. Broomfield has the one penalty, the 115-yarder, the chop block. So we look at the penalties there, but so far even there. And then Broomfield also winning the turnover battle.
And when you look at the scoring summary, 8-0 after the first quarter as Dan Gubel, a 31-yard touchdown run. Jose Frere, the 2-point conversion. So it was 8-0, and it was a manageable game. But then Broomfield just exploded in the second quarter. Kaiser to Gorman, a 7-yard pass. 2-point conversion, made it 16-8. Kaiser, a 5-yard run. Then he made the extra point, 23-0. And McCauley, a 2-yard run. Kaiser, the extra point, made it 30-0. And then off a turnover, Kaiser, a 2-yard quarterback sneak. And that made it 38-0 as Kaiser ran in the 2-point conversion off a botched snap. And a good play by Broomfield.
They've had 2 of those tonight.
Yeah, the holder, James Bradbury, very alert, was able to get the ball to Kaiser, who ran it in. So 38-0, and Broomfield will get the ball to start the second half. So once again, taking a look at some of the individual stats. Eric Kaiser rushing the ball tonight, 7 carries, 53 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dan Gubel, 9 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. They are the leaders for Broomfield in that department. And Kaiser was 7 of 12 through the air, 125 yards and a score. Thompson Valley, Marquez, 6 carries for 7 yards, and he is their leading rusher. And passing-wise, Shook, 3 completions in 8 attempts for a total of 17 yards. Again, Thompson Valley did not get a first down in that first half. Thompson Valley will kick it away. And doing the booting honors, it's Josh Sampson as they run up to the ball. Now they'll peel back. Broomfield fans on their feet. Third quarter underway. Sampson hits it to the 18 where it looks like Frere has it. Jose Frere dancing through traffic. Frere's got some room. And Frere gets tackled out of bounds by the kicker, Sampson, at the Thompson Valley 39-yard line. Nice return by Frere. One man to beat, and he couldn't do it. That was nearly a kickoff return for a score, so a good start for Broomfield in the third quarter. And Statman Don Apodaca, how many yards on that return? I caught him off guard. Say, I saw, Don, you weren't bearing down, so I put you on the spot there.
Kaiser's back out there to start out the second half.
A 57-yard return, according to Don Apodaca. Frere running with abandon down to the 29-yard line, close to a first down. So if you're wondering if Broomfield would let up for the third quarter, not the case thus far.
We'll see how many series they keep him in, though.
Nick Angarado has come in as a wide receiver. He split to the far side, a junior. And a slot left is Trent Ireland. First down, Broomfield. Ireland on the swing pass. Ireland, first down.
Again, getting the ball to Ireland in space. Extremely fast, extremely elusive, extremely tough to get in front of, tough to corral. You name it, it's tough. Get it to him in space, and he's usually going to get quite a bit of yards out of it.
Tackle that time by Sam Baca, the inside linebacker. So another first down for the Broomfield Eagles. Again, both teams named Eagles. I know last year, Brett, you did a game, the Erie Tigers and the Holy Family Tigers.
I did. A lot you can do with the colors of Eagles and Tigers.
My high school was Tigers, and we were black and orange.
Yeah. Holy Family's Tigers, they do the purple and the gold like LSU.
I've never seen a purple or gold Tiger. And Frere gets knocked down at the 10-yard line, is another big chunk of yardage.
Or purple and orange like Clemson. Never seen one of those either.
But I think black and orange should be all the Tigers schools. What's your high school?
Wolves.
The Wolves.
They were hunter green and hunter green and gray.
Those are nice colors.
Yeah.
Don was a Thomas Jefferson Spartan. Don Apodaca played football for TJ. Rumor has it he played quite well, but I don't want to say that on the air. He'll get a big head. Bigger than he has now. Kaiser on the keeper. Kaiser trying to turn in. Touchdown, Eric Kaiser. And Broomfield goes up 44-0.
Yeah, and from here on out, unless Thompson Valley can put some space or bring the score a little bit closer, you'll see the running clock from here on out. So the incompletions and plays going out of bounds and first downs, the clock will continue to run.
Kaiser will try the extra point. Got it.
That's one thing, we talk about things that they can work on in this game. The only area that I'm seeing right now is the hold on the kick, the snap and the hold. And that's something that, you get into a game with a competitive game. We've seen it earlier this year. That 1 point, missing out on that or even on a field goal try can really come back to bite you.
But Kaiser has kicked the ball very well for a guy who isn't their normal kicker.
No, he has, but the other components of the try and of field goals, they are very shaky in that area. The coaches always like to find something, when your team performs as well as Broomfield has, they always like to find something to get on them about, and that's, I guess, an area that Coach Davies can go after him about.
Well, we'll talk to Coach Davies after the game, and to this point, I don't know what he could really be upset about.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be able to get the entire team in the film room and really chew them out over the snap and the hold on the PATs. But
Kaiser's kickoff, and it comes to McNally at the 5.
Oh.
He hands the ball off to number 8, and that is Daniel Bebo, who gets knocked down at the 15-yard line. Second half for the Thompson Valley Eagles. Again, their quarterback is a sophomore, Spencer Shook. And the clock, as you can see, is moving. And it's the mercy rule. You don't want to see a team get humiliated and embarrassed by 80, 90 points. So it's a good rule to be put in. Shook keeps it. He gets hit hard. He's all shook up. I
thought you said you were going to do that.
Had to get a little bit. Second down and call it 8.
Who sings that song?
Some guy named Elvis Presley.
Well, let's keep it that way.
He can't sing it anymore.
Some people believe he can.
Are you one of those people thinks Elvis still alive?
No, I'm not.
Shook, a little pass.
That's backwards.
Incomplete.
You see the official? No, the official put his hand backwards over here. That was an inadvertent whistle.
The referee called an incomplete pass, and the side judge said it was a lateral. So a break there for Thompson Valley because it very well could have been a lateral. Pass was intended for Josh Strobel.
They are going to call. Are they spotting the ball back?
No, they'll put it at the original line of scrimmage. So still third down and 7. Ball at the Thompson Valley 18-yard line. And Thompson Valley still searching for that first down. Shook. Got some room. Turns the corner. First down, Thompson Valley. All right. At the 29-yard line. Good run by Shook. Didn't force it. Had some pressure, but was able to find some open territory.
And like we said on that last play, they did catch a break there. The side judge, who was right on top of the play, you'll see him if you watch the officials closely at a game. When it is a backwards lateral, any backwards, an option pitch, anything, the official will throw their arm up, signaling that it is backwards as the play is moving. He did that, but the referee blew it dead.
Maybe the score had something to do with that as well.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, getting racked up very hard. That was Josh Strobel. Kutchison on the tackle, also Latimer. And we see Gary Davies now substituting liberally. And for some of the guys who don't get into the game much, I will apologize ahead of time. It is very difficult to see the numbers on the Broomfield uniforms. Up close, the uniform numbers look really sharp, but from a distance, it is very difficult to tell some of the numbers, whether a 0 or a 6 or a 9 or an 8. So bear with us.
I was going to say, those shoulder stripes are a good look, though.
Shook in trouble. Tries to dance out of danger, and he gets tackled. Romaine on the stop. Alex Romaine in the first half recovered a fumble. So that'll bring up a third down and 14 for Thompson Valley at their own 25-yard line. And you can see the score at the bottom of the screen, 45-0 Broomfield. And Brett, before the ball game, during the open, we did talk about turnovers. The only way we really saw Broomfield having much difficulty tonight is if they were sloppy and turned the ball over, and they haven't done that.
No, and also talking about just their offense sputtering early on, and we've been saying it all night as we see here.
Screen to Marquez. Marquez gets jacked up at the 35-yard line. Nice gain of 10 yards, but they will be 4 yards short of the first down.
But yeah, coming out, turning the ball over, just plotting offensively, maybe giving up some big plays defensively, giving Thompson Valley some first downs with penalties and things like that. And they haven't done that. They've played a complete game. They've come out. I've said it now 20 times maybe throughout the game, but they've played their game. They stayed within their system. They've executed, and you really can't ask for much more if you're Gary Davies.
Ritker and Ireland deep. McFadden to punt, and it's a fake to Shook.
He might still punt it, but
Shook gets hit high.
Wow.
And the Thompson Valley coaches want a flag, but they will be short of the first down. And I hope we can see this one again. Looked like Shook was going to make it, and he was hit up high and dropped at the 38-yard line.
It looked like he hesitated, like he was going to try to punt it if he had some kind of option there.
And it did look like the option because McFadden was trailing him. So the Broomfield Eagles take over, and a new quarterback for Broomfield. And that is the holder, James Bradbury. He's a senior, and Bradbury keeps it. And he gets it to the 35-yard line before he is stacked up by Thompson Valley.
He's already completed one pass tonight. Of course, it hasn't found the stat sheet quite yet. It was he completed the pass on the fumbled, the bad snap earlier on a 2-point try. I guess it was on a point after try, but it turned into 2 points.
So a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Got some crowd surfing going on down here in the student section too.
And the handoff, and it's McCulley up the middle, and he gets tackled at the 11. So Broomfield showing some of their depth. Ryan McCulley, a sophomore, who scored on a touchdown earlier with a nice burst up the middle. As we approach 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 1st and 10, ball on the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal. And we'll take another look at McCulley's jaunt up the middle.
Yeah, just huge hole right here, waiting for his blocks to develop. Getting into that 2nd and 3rd level. You know, those safeties don't like tackling running backs all too much, but the running backs don't mind running back there with them.
McCulley running hard down to the 3-yard line. Ramirez on the tackle. Or check that, Martinez on the tackle. So 2nd and goal from the 3. There's a good look at McCulley.
Look for Ireland right here.
Ireland has been a little bit quiet tonight.
He has.
He goes to the left side, just out of your viewpoint. And the keeper. And it's a touchdown, Broomfield. James Bradbury. So the Eagles now lead it 51-0. And Kaiser will try to add the extra point as the quarterback, Bradbury, will spot it. Good to see the senior getting some playing time. Low snap, kick is up, and it is no good, but a flag on the play.
This is a flag on the play.
Now I wonder why they're not stopping the clock for the flag. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
On both sides.
On both sides. Okay, so getting a little chippy. And we'll take a look at the touchdown before we go to break.
As you see Bradbury right here, just a simple zone read. He keeps it. He's able to fight his way in.
A little fighting down here in the corner of the screen. So that is the end of the third quarter of play. Our score, Broomfield 51, Thompson Valley nothing. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this. And the fourth quarter of play underway as Broomfield kicks the ball through the end zone. And Thompson Valley will start at their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Their last series, they got their first down of the game. And a look at the Broomfield cheerleaders. Very friendly group, if you saw our opening tonight. It's one thing I've noticed about cheerleaders throughout the years, Brett. And I have been an aficionado of cheerleaders. They're always excitable. They're never in a bad mood. Here's a gift to Marquez. If you take the word enthusiasm, you can put a cheerleader right next to that word.
Yes,
And that is why I like cheerleaders. They're always excitable, And if their team is winning or losing, they are still cheering for their team. That's why they are called cheerleaders.
You know, I never put that together.
You never
Cheerleaders. I always thought it was a coincidence they were called that.
Second down and 5 for Thompson Valley. And the end around. And it's Rios. Across the 30-yard line. First down, the Thompson Valley Eagles. So Thompson Valley gets their second first down of the game. And Brett, when you look at the score, you think, all right, Thompson Valley, they got their heads handed to them tonight. But if they come away with some type of learning experience, they can take something away from this game, build on some positives, and that's how you build a program.
It is, and they didn't play a sloppy game. You see a team go out, they may lose this bad. They turn the ball over 5 or 6 times. They're giving up a lot of really big plays. They're penalized a lot. But this is a team that played well. It's a young team. It's a team going through growing pains. Again, this will be a veteran team here in a couple of years, kind of like what Broomfield is now, once they can sort of get their legs underneath them.
Pass to Highland is incomplete.
Third down.
Ball hit the artificial turf surface. And this is a nice artificial turf surface here at Broomfield.
It is. Do you like artificial turf or grass?
I do like when it's maintained like this and it's soft like this. I do like the artificial turf, although I do like the grass and the mud.
The artificial turf now, though, is a lot better than the artificial turf they used to have when it was just a basically glorified green concrete.
Exactly. Crossing pattern and getting hit after making the catch was Josh Strobel. And a big lick. Is that 52 or 58, Brett?
You are asking the wrong person.
Okay, it is 58, and he is not on our roster. So 58, nice hit. Maybe talk to the sports information department and get your name on the roster next time. So that'll be 4th and 4. We'll see if there's a fake of some type. No, it's kicked by McFadden. And the ball will roll out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And the guy deep for Broomfield that time was Nick Ongarato, and he really wanted to return it. "37-yard punt, no return. And we'll see who Gary Davies sends out to run the offense. Looks like Angelo Perez, a sophomore out of Broomfield, Colorado. And there's the calendar of events. Let's take a look at this play, and then we'll get back to the calendar of events. And we have a false start on Broomfield. Calendar of events. It's always important to know what's going on. And the annual Spooktacular, October 23rd. November 6th, One Book, One Broomfield author event. And December 3rd, holiday tree lighting ceremony. And there's the number. And, of course, broomfield.org. That should be on your favorites on your computer. But the annual Spooktacular, they should send you there, Brett. Chase away all the ladies.
I don't know, that pumpkin costume you're going to be wearing for the Devlin Holy Family game is probably quite scary as well.
And, of course, the council meetings. On a little bit more serious note, you want to know what's going on in your community. And the quarterback keeper, as Angelo Perez takes it out to the 27-yard line.
Although I was talking to Don Pablo, our stat man over here, and he's planning on going as a ballerina too, so maybe that would be something to send down to the Spooktacular.
2nd down and 8. Coming into the ball game, it's Dan Purse, sophomore wide receiver from Broomfield, Colorado. See, in college, when I did college games, everybody has a different hometown. Everybody here, the entire roster from Broomfield, Colorado.
Or Loveland.
For Thompson Valley. And here's a big gain. Good yardage for Hayden Estes, a sophomore out of Broomfield, Colorado. And he was brought down by Thompson Valley's Ryan Prinz, from Loveland, Colorado.
Again, just running this offense. Offensive line tonight for Broomfield has just played really well. That's the key to any running game, as we all know. All good running backs and all good running systems. It starts up front, and these guys definitely help the likes of Gubel and Kaiser and Frureed.
And a handoff and gang tackling by Thompson Valley. Gain of about a yard as peeling himself off the artificial turf surface is Connor Eakes, a sophomore. Where's he from, Brett?
From Broomfield, right?
I would guess. Again, stay with us following the game with 5 minutes to go, as we'll have the post-game show.
The only way you can get in trouble doing that is if they have like a foreign exchange student out there. Then you'd be wrong.
Well, foreigners don't really play football, do they? They play the other football known as soccer. As Perez gets good yardage and gets knocked out of bounds.
As we can see, you wonder where the clock is going. There's a rule in high school football. We went over it before, but a 40-point margin, they will have the clock running nonstop. So that's why the clock is not being stopped on first downs and incompletes and when they go out of bounds or penalties.
10 different players for Broomfield have at least one rushing attempt. And I want to comment on that in a second, Brett. 3rd and 1 for the Broomfield Eagles. And a keeper by Perez. First down into Thompson Valley territory as we approach 4 minutes to go. It's 51-0 Broomfield. And on the surface, someone may pick up the paper and say, oh, Broomfield ran up the score. It couldn't be further from the truth, because Gary Davies has not been throwing the ball the second half. He's substituting liberally. It's just a case where Broomfield is much better than Thompson Valley at this point. Thompson Valley, a rebuilding program. Broomfield, year in and year out, one of the top teams in 4A. So it's not a case of trying to run up the score. He's actually trying to keep the score down as flags fly. And on the carry with some good yardage is Hayden Estes, but this may come back.
And if you think about how that first half went, Thompson Valley did not get one first down. That means that every time they got the ball, they would run 3 plays deep in their own zone, by the way, and then they'd punt it back to Broomfield. So Broomfield, Thompson Valley is not holding on to the ball for very long at all, as we see right here, a false start on the offense or maybe an illegal motion. But yes, so they would only run 3 plays per possession. They'd punt it back. Broomfield would typically take over in Thompson Valley territory or right around midfield, and they would just have these short little methodical scoring drives back to back to back.
And you had a very salient point a few minutes ago, Brett, that Thompson Valley, they're very young, they're not very big. One of the things that Coach DeWall will have to have is get these kids in the weight room in the offseason and build a program, make it a year-round thing.
But they're young. These are still 15, 16-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids out there. There's a lot of room for improvement there.
But the thing that I was commenting on your comment was that they have not played a sloppy game.
Right.
There haven't been the dumb penalties. There haven't been the turnovers. There hasn't been a lack of effort. And when I look at coaches, one of the things I'm not the most technical guy with football. Obviously, the coaches know more than I do, or at least they think they do. But I look at a coach, does his team play hard? And we have seen this Thompson Valley team, example right there, 4 guys in on the tackle.
Not only that, discipline too. You can tell discipline by penalties, discipline by the amount of big plays that they give up and things like that. And on offense, are they going off on the right snap count? There's no false starts and the like.
Yeah, and they've played hard.
Absolutely.
They've played intelligent. They're just not skilled yet as Broomfield is. So I do look for this team in the coming years, even next year, to be much, much better.
Yeah, and they're playing a team whose lone loss this season is to a 5A team. And they lost by 2 points to the 5A team. They're 2 points away from being undefeated, Broomfield is. Thompson Valley will be just fine going forward.
Gary Davies is very angry on the sideline.
And this is coaching right here.
He took his hat off and waved it. Very demonstrative. And he normally doesn't get that way, but something ticked him off, and Broomfield took a timeout, and he didn't want to see a timeout there. 3rd and 6 at the 45-yard line for Broomfield.
But and Coach DeWall understands that, what he's doing right there. He's not doing it. He's teaching his kids right there. You mentioned he's got these subs in. These are all young guys that probably don't get to play a lot, but it's live game action. And they did something that he didn't like. He takes the time out, and he uses it as a teaching moment.
Connor Gee is the tailback behind Perez. And Gee gets the pitch. Running hard to his left. Breaks a tackle. Gets close to the 40-yard line. He will be short of the first down. They'll bring up a 4th down for Broomfield. And they'll spot it just inside the 42-yard line. As the clock continues to run. That's now 11 different players have had at least one carry for Broomfield. 4th and 2. And Broomfield will just run this play. Perez gets the first down.
Ball came
Fumble. And covering up is Thompson Valley. Flag on the play. And that could be the last play of the game. Face mask on Thompson Valley. So that will nullify the turnover, and that'll do it for the game. Ball game is over. Our final score is Broomfield 51, Thompson Valley nothing. The Thompson Valley Eagles dropped to 0-7 on the season, and their losing streak has now hit 18. Next up for Thompson Valley, they will host Greeley West next Thursday. As for Broomfield, they improved to 6-1 overall, 3-0 in Northern Conference play. Broomfield, they will play Longmont right here at Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium next Friday night. Check that, they will be at Longmont. My bad. So Broomfield at Longmont. Longmont is 3-0 in conference play coming into this weekend's action. So that'll be a big showdown next week, Broomfield and Longmont. And if you're Gary Davies, you have to be pretty pleased. Your team did what they had to do.
They did. They weren't sloppy. Kaiser was very disciplined running the offense, checked down to certain plays, didn't throw into coverage, hit the open man. He threw the ball extremely well tonight. You have to be happy with that. And defensively, plugging guys in at new positions, it looked like they didn't miss a beat. Granted, they're playing a less talented team in Thompson Valley tonight, but all you can do is beat the team that's in front of you, and they dominated tonight, and that's all you can ask of them. Like we said, the only area where there's really any gripes is on their field goal unit with the snapping and the holding. But if those are your biggest problems right now, then things could probably be worse, you know.
Absolutely. And as far as Thompson Valley goes, hey fellas, keep your heads up, keep working hard, and you'll turn this program around in short order. So our final score, 51-0, Broomfield the victor. And when we come back, we'll have our post-game show. And look at those handsome guys on the TV there, Brett.
Look good.
At least the guy in the blue shirt. And we'll be right back after this. Final score tonight, Broomfield 51, Thompson Valley nothing. I'm joined right now by Gary Davies, the head coach of the Broomfield Eagles. And Coach, we knew that Thompson Valley's having a tough year, but with 7 starters out, were you surprised they were able to manhandle them so handily?
Well, I think it was pretty businesslike. There were a couple plays early that got some momentum for us, and the execution was great. And we got a lot of kids in, and the kids that had to play in new spots tonight did a pretty good job.
I think 11 different players carried the ball for you. One of the good things, I suppose, about a blowout is you do get some of the young guys some action.
Yeah, and hopefully, like Dan Gabel got a little rest, and he's, a little banged up. And, yeah, you want to get those young kids. They work hard during the week. They do have a JV game, but it's kind of nice to be out under the Friday night lights at homecoming.
Now, as the head coach, you do have to look for the negatives to try to correct them. What were some of the things that you would like to see done better next week?
One, when we're a minute to go in a game like this, we have to take a timeout because of substitutions. That doesn't sit very well with me. Really, I thought we did a great job on offense, great job on defense. There were a couple breakdowns on the extra points. We ran some really fancy fakes that weren't called. I can't even design things that good. So, some of those things. But, there's always things to work on, and I think we tackled pretty well, but there were a couple plays where we broke down there. But all in all, pretty happy to get out of here without any serious injuries is the big thing.
Well, we're going to talk in a moment to Eric Kaiser. What does he mean to your team?
Well, he's a very versatile player, obviously. If you've watched us play this year, you haven't seen him kick the ball before, and he's kicking now for us. But, they were cheating a little bit, trying to have a guy play both run and pass, and when people do that, we have to execute in the passing game. He did a great job of that. Did a nice job in the zone read, and, kept his composure and did a really nice job getting the ball where the ball is supposed to be.
Well, with Hayden Underberg out, he's your normal kicker. How'd you know that Kaiser could kick the ball?
I asked Coach Wheeler earlier this week, I said, do you feel bad when there's a kid that's a senior and we had no idea he could kick the ball? We have no idea. He's out here messing around. He's usually the holder, and then he would kick him. He was drop kicking him, actually, and making him. So we thought, what the heck, kick a few. And then I told him, hey, you kick 10 extra points a night, a couple field goals, and 2 kickoffs. I don't need a pulled groin or a quad muscle. You're not really a kicker. We just need you to bang it through the uprights when we need it. So,
why didn't you have him drop kick for us, Coach?
Well, we've got it in, but maybe down the road we might see that.
Real quick, Longmont, big game coming up next week. Size up that game. What type of game do you anticipate?
Well, they got a lot of kids, good athletes. They 2 platoons, so they don't have guys playing both ways, which is to their advantage. Have a dynamite quarterback, some real good receivers. They're very, very good on offense. Defensively, they're pretty salty too. So, the games the last couple of years have been great games, and I'm kind of expecting the same thing.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good luck the rest of the way. And now we bring in Eric Kaiser, quarterback for the Broomfield Eagles. And Eric, we meet again. Last year we spoke to you after the Thompson Valley game. You had 4 touchdown passes. Tonight, 4 touchdowns, but different variety. 3 on the ground and also throwing the ball. But I want to talk to you about your kicking. Did you get a blast out of that?
Oh, yeah, it was the first time since about the Pee Wee days since I got to kick, and first kickoff was pretty bad, but I got used to it.
Well, the offense was really clicking tonight. What was the key for you guys?
Our running backs and receivers did really well, and just the zone read, our linemen blocked really well tonight.
Now, what do you prefer, running the ball in for a touchdown or throwing the ball?
Probably throwing to get more people involved with the.
Do you ever have a chance to call your own plays, or is that always from the sideline?
On the zone read, I have the opportunity to throw the ball, but tonight I didn't do that and just ran it.
Well, Broomfield is now 6-1. How good can you guys get?
I think we can get pretty good and have our younger guys step up even more than they did.
Well, offensively, where would you like to see the team improve?
We did really good. We only had 1 sack, probably just that 1 sack.
Well, that's good. You won't be too sore tomorrow morning.
No, probably not.
Well, you're a senior, Eric. What are some of your future plans in football and out of football?
I'm looking at some of the RMAC schools for football, and then I also play basketball and might consider that.
Okay, what's your favorite subject in school?
Probably digital art with Coach Mickens.
Okay, well, very good. Eric, thanks a lot. Good job. Good luck next week against Longmont. That's Eric Kaiser, quarterback for Broomfield, and I welcome back Brett Davis. And Brett, we thought that Broomfield should win this game, and they did handily. And like Coach Davey said, no injuries.
No injuries. Did I hear him say they had a drop kick in the game plan and they didn't use it?
Man, that would have been a YouTube sensation to see the drop kick. I think Doug Flutie was the last guy in the NFL to do it. Very interesting. But overall, Broomfield, a solid effort. Not overly spectacular, but they didn't need to be.
They were very methodical. They did what they had to do. We said it a million times during the broadcast. They stayed within the system. They checked down when they had to. Kaiser was throwing darts out there tonight. He threw the ball extremely well. You really can't ask for more. They ran the ball well. They blocked well, like he said, especially on their zone read play. They tackled well. As we said on the defensively, too, they played very well. The only issue, and Coach Davies brought it up on the snap and the hold on the PATs.
Well, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Eric Kaiser. How much better do you think this Broomfield team can be? And looking way down the road, do you think they can challenge for a state championship?
Absolutely, they can challenge. I love their focus. They knew they were playing an inferior team tonight, and they went out and they just took care of business. They lined up and they beat them, and they weren't flashy. He wasn't showing off. He wasn't, like I said, throwing into coverage and making throws he shouldn't have made. He just stayed within the offense. Defensively, they ran into space. They tackled as a group. They plugged holes. They disrupted. They're very good, and this is an injury-rattled team, by the way.
Yeah, this was a good week for them to get some guys healthy. So that'll do it for our entire crew. Don Apodaca, our stat man, the crew led by Victor Seif. For Brett Davis, I'm Bill Rogan. Thanks for watching. Once again, the final score from Elizabeth Kennedy Stadium in Broomfield, Colorado. The Broomfield Eagles 51, the Thompson Valley Eagles nothing. Thanks for watching. See ya!